Good morning students. This is Sridevi. In our previous sessions, we will discuss about introduction part of MS Access, how many ways to create a database and table creation and modifications of table data. Today in this session, I will teach the final topics in Unit 5 MS Access. The topics are queries, forms and reports. Coming to this first topic, queries. Let us see what is an query. A query is a request for data results, for action on data, or for both. You can use a query to answer a simple question, to perform calculations, to combine data from different tables, or even to add, change, or delete table data. Another definition of a query is an access object used to view, analyze, or modify data. The query design determines the fields and records you can see and sort order. Additionally, queries it allows you to join two or more related tables. Concatenate text field. Concatenate means plus. Summarize data, create calculate fields and append, update or delete record based on specified criteria. A queries is more powerful than the simple searches or filters. You can might use to find data within a table. This is because queries can draw their information from multiple tables. A well-designed query can give information you might not be able to find out simple by examining the data in the tables. Query results are often used as the basic for reports displayed in forms are used to create other queries. A query only points to data, it does not store data. When a query is used to create other queries, a query only point to data, it does not store data. When a query is saved, only definition of query is saved, not a copy of the data. A query is a request for data results, for action on data, or for both. Okay. Next, creating a basic or simple query. A query can be based on tables or on other queries. To create a query, you open the tables or queries on which you are going to base your query is in query design view and then use the options in design view to create your query. You then click the run button to display the results. You can save queries for later use. Okay. First, to open tables or queries in query design view. Okay. Click the create tab. In the queries group, click the query wizard icon. The new query dialog box will be appears. Activate the table tabs. If you want to base your query on tables, activate the query tab if you want base your query on your queries, or activate the both tab if you want to base your query on both tables and queries. Click to choose the table or query on which you want to base your query. The simple query wizard dialog box will be appears. The simple wizard dialog box lets you pick the field to use for your query. If the enabled fields available field box, click a field name listed and then click left side button. Okay. Access displays your chosen field in the selected field box. Less than button. Repeat step 4 for each field you want to use in your query. Click next. Okay. If any of your chosen fields contains numeric data, another dialog box appears. This dialog box asks whether you want to display your data in your detailed view. That means shows every record, or summary view. It means shows numerical information such as the total number of records found, average value, and the minimum or maximum value. Choose between details or summary view. Okay. Click Add. The table appears in the window. Click to choose the next table or query on which you want to base your query. Okay. Continue clicking tables and queries until you have the tables and queries you plan to use. Select the detailed or summary radio button and then click next. And the dialog box appears asking you to type a descriptive name for your query. And click the text boxes, type a descriptive name for your query and then finish. Click on finish button. To save your query, click the file tab and then choose in the save icon. Access saves your query in the all access objects pane under the queries categories. Anytime you want to view that query, just double click. Okay. It performing calculations in query. In this summary option dialog box, specify which fields you want to summarize and how you want to summarize the data. Only number fields are displayed or listed. For each number field, choose one of the following functions. These functions are sum, average, minimum, and maximum. Sum function, the query returns the sum of the all values of the field. In the average function use, the query returns the average of all the values of the field. And the minimum function uses the query returns the smallest value of the field. And the maximum function uses the query returns the largest value of the field. If you want to query the result to count the record in a data source, select the appropriate count records in data source name checkbox. On the last page of the wizard, give the query a title. Specify you want to open or modify the query and then click finish button. Click close. Access changes to query design view. And another topic is forms. First of all, what is a form? In Access, form is an object that generally serves in three purposes. And the purposes are to allow users to perform data entry. Data can be inserted, updated, or deleted from a table using a form object. This is the one purpose. And second purpose is to allow users to enter custom information and based on that information perform a task. For example, you may want to ask a user for parameters before running a report. And third purpose is to allow users a method of navigating through the system. For example, you may create a form where a user can select a form to load, a report to run, etc. And to create a form, there are a few methods you can use to create forms in Access. Open your database and go to the Create tab. In this form group, in the upper right hand corner, you will see the Form Wizard button. Okay. Click on the button to launch the Form Wizard. That means open the navigation pane. Click the table or query on which you want to base your form. On the first screen in the wizard, you can select fields that you want to display on the form, and you can choose from fields from more than one table or a query. Let us assume you want to simple have a quick form that we are going to use for data entry for your employee information. From tables or queries drop-down list open, select TBL employees. TBL means table employees. Table. Click on the double arrow to move all the fields at once. Let us just leave it with one table and then click next. In this following screen, in the form wizard, we'll ask from the layout that we would like for our form. We have columnar, tabular, datasheet and justified layouts. You will choose the columnar layout here and then click next button. In these following screens, we need to give a title for your form. Let us call it from employee, FRM employees. Once you have given your form a title, you can open the form to see what that form looks like, or you can begin entering information into your table. You can choose the option to modify the form design. Let us choose the first option to open the form to view or enter information and click finish. Now, take a look in the following screenshot. This is what your forms look like. This is a single item form. This is a single item form, meaning one record is displayed at the time, and further down you can see the navigation buttons, which is telling that this is displaying the record 1 of 9. If you click off that button, then it will move to the next record. Let us say if you want to jump the very last record that form on the table, you can use the button right beside the right arrow. The arrow within a line after that last record button if you want to add new employee information. Go to the end of these records, and then after 9 records you will see a blank form when you can beginning entering out the new employees information. This is one example how you can create a form using the form wizard. Let us now close this form and go to the create tab. Now you will create a slightly more complicated form using wizard. Click the form wizard, and this time you will choose fields from a couple of different tables. In this form table, let us choose table projects for tables or queries and select a few available fields such as project ID, project name, project start and project end. These fields will now move to selected fields. Now select TBL tasks for tables or queries and send over the task ID, project ID, task title, start date, due date and percent complete. Then click on next button. Here you want to retrieve data from a couple of different objects. Already in previous slide we will discuss a couple of different fields. In this slide, to retrieve data from a couple of different objects, you can also choose from options on how we want to arrange our forms. If you want to create a flat form, we can choose to arrange by TBL tasks, which we create the single form with all the fields laid out in the flat view as shown in the above. However, if you want to create a hierarchical form based on the one-to-many relationship, you can choose to arrange your data by TBL projects. In the above window, we have the option to include a subform for TBL tasks, or we can make that a linked form. This linked form is where TBL projects we have to button that will launch that second form filter to the project that we have to select it in that underlying projects form. Let us now select the form with subforms and click next button. In the following screens, you can choose a layout from subform. The datasheet view in get selected by default. The datasheet view is similar to a table view and click on next button. In the following screens, you need to provide a name for your forms. Enter the name you want and click on finish. In this slide, Access will give you a preview of what your form looks like. On top, you have the controls on your main form, which is form our project table. As you go down, you will see a subform. It's like a form within a form. Working with data on forms. Before going to this topic, forms are created in two basic types of forms. First one is the bound forms and second one is unbound forms. First, bound forms. Let us now understand what bound forms are. Bound forms are connected to some underlying data source such as tables, queries, or SQL statement. Bound forms are what people typically think of when they think of the purpose of a form. Forms are to be filled out or used to enter or edit data in a database. Example of bounded forms will typically be what users use to enter, view, or edit data in a database. Unbound forms. In these unbound forms are not connected to an underlying record or data source. In other words, unbound forms are typically used to navigate or interact with the database at large as opposed to the data itself. Types of bounded forms: single item form, multi-item form, and split item form. Okay. Now, working with data on forms. In Access, working with forms, we'll need to know how to open a form as well as how to view and edit the information into your forms. To open an existing form, open your database and locate the navigation pane. In this navigation pane, locate the form you want to open. Double click the desired form. It will open and open as tab in the Documents tab bar. Let us see, this is the working with form. Entering and modifying data into a form. In this database, you are using the forms you work with may include special tools and features that let you perform common tasks with one click of your button. You will see examples of these tools in the interactive letter in this lesson. However, no matter what type of form you are working with, you can follow some procedures for carrying out certain basic tasks. First of all, to add a new record. There are two ways to add new record to a form. In the records group on the home tab of the ribbon, click the new command. In another way, on the record navigation bar at the bottom of the window and then click the new record button. And to find an existing record to view or edit. There are two ways to find and view on existing record using a form, and they both use the navigation bar at the bottom on the screen. To look those records one at a time, click the navigation arrow. The right arrow will take you to the next record and the left arrow will take you to the previous one. And another way to find and view an existing record. To search for a record, type a word you know is contained in that record in the navigation search bar. Next one, to save the current record. First of all, select the Home tab and locate the records group. Click the save command. The current record will be saved. And another is to delete the current record. Select the Home tab and locate the records group and then click the delete command. Okay. A dialog box will appear. Click yes. The record will be permanently deleted. And another topic is reports. Another topic is report. In MS Access, the design of a report is divided into sections. You can view your report is designed you to see its section. To create useful reports, you need to understand how each section works. For example, the section in which you choose to place a calculated control determines how Access calculates the results. The following list is a summary of the section types and their uses. The sections are report header, page header, group header, detail, group footer, page footer, and report footer. Report header means is printed just once at the beginning of the report. When you place a calculated control that uses the sum aggregate function in the report header, the sum is calculated on the entire report. The report header is printed before the page header. And another one is page header. This section is printed at the top of every page. For example, use a page header to repeat the report title on every page. Next one is the group header. In this section is printed at the beginning of each new group of records. Use the group header to print the group name. For example, in a report that is grouped by product, use the group header to print the product name. When you place a calculated control that uses the sum aggregate function in the group header, the sum is for the current group. Next, detail. In this section is printed once for every row in the record source. This is where you place the controls that make the main body of the report. Next one is the group footer. In this section, printed at the end of each group of a record. Page footer. In this section is printed at the end of every page and it uses the page footer to print page numbers or per page information. And final section is report footer. In this section is printed just once at the end of the report. Use the report footer to print report totals or other summary information for the entire report. Next, creating a report. As with the form, it is a very good idea to create a report using the wizard. Unless you are an advanced user, in Microsoft Access, does a very good job using the wizard to create a report. First of all, switch to the database window. You can do this by pressing F11 on the keyboard. Click the reports button under objects on the left side on the screen. Double click on create report using wizard. On the next screen, select the fields you want to view on your form. Most of the time, you would select all of them. Click next button. Select the create tab on the ribbon and locate the reports group. Click the report command. And coming to this, select if you would like a group for your files. Keep repeating this step for as many groupings or as would like. Click next. Select the layout and the paper orientation you desire. Access will create a new report based on that object. Okay. Select the style you desire. Example, if you plan on printing your report, I suggest you use a light background to save the printer, toner and link. Click next button. Give your report a name or select preview report and then select finish button. You should save your report to adjust the design of your report. Simply hit the design button. Example, same as within the tables and adjust your report accordingly. This is the creating of reports. And next is deleting fields. You might find that your report contains some fields you don't really need to view. For instance, our report contains zip code field, which is not necessary in this list of orders. Fortunately, you can delete fields in reports without affecting the table or query where you pulled your data. To delete a field in a report, click any cell in the field you want to delete. Press the delete key. When you delete a field, be sure to delete this header as well. Simply select the header and press the delete key. Printing and save reports in print preview. Okay. First, while you can print reports using commands in backstage view, you can also use print preview. Print preview shows you how your report will appear on the printed page. It also allows you modify the way your report is displayed. Print it and even save it is in different file types. Click the buttons in an interactive below to learn about print preview. This is the print preview slide. To print a report, first of all, on the home tab of the ribbon, click the view command and select print preview from the drop down list. Your report will be shown as it will appear on the print page. If necessary, modify the page size, margin width and the page oriented using the related commands on the ribbon. Click the print command. The print dialog box will appear. Select any desired print options and then click OK. Next, adding controls to reports. Controls are objects that display data, perform actions, and let you view and work with information that enhance the user's interface, such as labels and images. In MS Access supports three types of controls: bound, unbounded, unbound, and calculated. First of all, bound control. In this bound control, host source of data is a field in a table or query is a bounded control. And unbounded control. A control that does not have a source of data. That means a field or expression is an unbound control. Calculated control. In this calculated control, whose source of data is an expression rather than a field is calculated control. You specify the value that you want in the control by defining an expression as the source of data for the control. An expression can use data from a field in the report's underlying table or query or form a control in the report. You can then add the unbound and calculated controls that complete the design by using the tools in the control groups on the design tab. You can bind a control to field by identifying the field from which the control gets its data. You can create a control that is bound to the selected field by dragging in the field from the field list pane to the report. The field list pane displays the fields on the report's underlying table or query. To display the field list pane on the design tab in the controls group and click add existing fields. Using the field list pane is the best way to create a control for two reasons. First one is a bound control has an attached label and the label takes the name of the field, that is, or option defined for that field in the underlying table or query, as it option by default, so you don't have to type the caption yourself. And second way to create control field list are a bounded control inherits many of the same settings as the field in underlying table or query. Okay. If you already created an unbound control and want to bind it to be a field, set the control source property to the name of the field. And another topic is the formatting reports. Okay. One of the strength of reports is that they can be modified the appearance to make them look how you want. You can add headers and footers to the reports, apply new colors to the layout, and even add a logo. All of these things can help us create visually appealing reports and modifying reporting text. This information in the report comes straight from the query or table that is built it form, which means you cannot edit it or within the report. However, you can change, add or delete label text, header and footer to make your report clearer and easier to read. Modifying the page header and footer. Already you know how to modify the page header and footer. To view and modify the header and footer that appears on every page to the report, select the view command and the ribbon and switch to design view. The header and footer are located in the white space beneath the page header and page footer bars. Add text to the header or footer. On the ribbon, select the design tab in the report, designing tools, groups and locate the control group. Select the label command. Place your cursor in the white space in your header or footer and click and drag to create your label. Release the mouse when is in the desired size. Place your cursor in the text box, click once and type the desired text. Thank you.